Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome to Toonkind at 12 FPS. This is, what's the title again?
Blooming friendship.
Yeah, this is a Blooming Friendship. I am Saria. I am playing March, your local baby boy barbarian. And my lovely friend, introduce yourself and your character.
Hello. I'm Vampire, Vemo, whatever you want to call me. And today I will be playing the He Who Magic Man once again.
The He Who Magic Man, whom we all love.
So,
Also, World, you are unmuted. God, I cannot speak today.
it's okay. Get the nerves out. Maybe like World's unmuted because they're recording and. I don't. Never mind.
Alright, so, we start. We start. Alright, sorry about that. We start at Data Studios, as usual. Mersel, you're probably at the kitchen, right? As usual.
Yep. Yep. Probably cooking. As is his job.
Alright, world perception, I guess?
Oh, he's not good at that. Oh no.
That works. So, it was a DC of 10, of like 5. So, Mersel hears a very soft knock on the door.
Quite honestly, he's kind of surprised because most of the people who visit him at the kitchens are not the kind of people who would knock. And he puts down whatever it is he's holding at the moment and dusts his hands off on his coat and walks over to the door to open it.
And behind the door is March. And March kind of sheepishly looks at you and like, hey, is it okay if I hang out here a bit? This might look weird, but I just kind of need a break from all the chaos.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Oh, not good.
It's what he said. The studio is very well that the studio is chaotic as all hell. And sometimes people need a break from that.
So, and he sees that and he nods and he goes, "Oh, of course, come on in." And he ushers March into the kitchen and closes the door behind them both. And like Staria, for flavor, can we say like the second Saw closes the door, there's this explosion from like further in the studio and the door rattles.
Yeah, probably. They just close the door as another explosion kind of happens in the background.
I'm sorry if I won't be. I'm sorry. I don't think I'll be able to be much for conversation right now. Mersel's going to say to March and motion at like the food he's still making, because I'm assuming this is like sometime before the lunch rush.
Probably. And Mark kind of like looks at it and then it's like, "Oh, do you need help?"
And he tilts his head a little and looks at March and goes, Well, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to being help. Do you want to help?"
Yeah. I would love to help.
Oh, all right then. And he nods, and Well, he wasn't expecting this, honestly. Like, he expected Mark to maybe, like, sit down and just, like, do their own thing. Or maybe pull a bond and just sleep on the kitchen counter and necessarily not having to, like, step over him. But, like, yeah, he's not complaining. Extra hands are always nice,
When
especially,
there's four.
yeah. And I think, like, he's going to bring March to the counter, and he's going to ask March how much experience they have in cooking.
None.
Ah, all right. And he and haws a little and goes, "Well, have you ever chopped anything?"
Um, it can't be too hard, right?
Well, yes. Let's start you off with the more simpler vegetables, and he puts aside, the onions
Oh
because
boy.
no, those are the bane of your existence. He puts aside the onions. He puts aside stuff that would actually require like finesse, and like he takes out like the more easier to chop like vegetables, like carrots, and he sets them on a dark blue chopping board and like brings it over to March, along with a kitchen knife.
Nice. What do I roll for this?
Um. Well,
Dexterity?
yeah, sure. You can try dexterity. Hard thing. Well, it wasn't low DC in the first place. Like it was just chopping. It's just chopping vegetables, and you have four hands. Like you chop, and there are a lot of vegetables to chop, but um, you get through them quicker than like most people would because again, you have four hands.
Yeah, March has four fucking hands, so
As you're chopping, you see like Marcel kind of like going about and doing the rest. Like there's something bubbling on the stove. It looks like stew. There's like vegetables poking out from a bowl that looks like a salad, and he very much seems like he's in his element.
and I forgot what I was about to say. Fuck. March kind of like as he's cutting the vegetable, he's like trying to make small talk. So like, so how are you?
Well, I'm fine, and he smiles at March. I'm doing fine actually. The studio can be a bit chaotic, but I think we all know how to handle it at this point.
Yeah, this whole deal with Gil and what Gil was it?
Oh
What was
yeah,
his name?
his name is
That was something.
Roll Inside.
Oh boy.
18. Okay, when you mentioned Gil, he he actually like he always looks like he's usually like as far as when you've seen him around the studio, he's usually smiling unless like he's arguing with someone. But when you mention Kill, he actually looks downright fun. And you remember that hey, both Marcel and Bob, they mentioned that they were friends with Gil.
Oh, so he is your friend.
Well, yes.
Well, it's good to have friends.
Yeah, it's great to have friends. Um,
Hmm?
you first. You first.
And is Marcel going to mention anything else that happened during the encounter with Gil?
I hmm. I'm gonna roll a history to see if he even remembers to like mention it. plus 5. Okay, 21. All right. As after you've said that, and after the both of you have lapsed into silence again, broken only by, cutting sounds, uh, Marcel kind of remembers that you were acting strangely during that final quote unquote fight with Gil. And he remembers having to comfort you who and like guide you back behind the camera. And he's not sure what set you off. And he doesn't want to pry, but he does look towards March and kind of like pitching his voice lower and like softer. Uh, and how have you been holding up since then? Doing all right?
Uh, um, well, yeah, 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 I've been doing, fine. Yeah. You don't even need to roll inside. There's something troubling him.
God, Marcel wouldn't pry.
Oh my god, Mersel!
No, he wouldn't pry. That's the problem. Like he wouldn't pry. Like he just look at March and he just go like, well, that's good to hear. Although if you weren't doing fine, I could listen if you like. And that's all he would say. He's not gonna pry.
March kind of looks at him for a second, and then he kind of looks away. And after another few moments of silence, he takes a deep breath and then says, "It was the rapier."
The rapier?
Yeah, it was when he hit me with the rapier.
Out of curiosity, is March still chopping the vegetables?
Probably.
Can I roll insight for a second to see how March is for a second?
Sure.
12. Oh, come on, Mersel. You can do better than that.
You can't have advantage. Fuck it. This is an FPS. Oh my god.
He's just not perceiving today, I guess. But
what? Perceiving.
Well, what are you going to give him for 12?
There's definitely something there of it being more than just, oh, March is afraid of rapiers. And more of something, there is something emotional tied to it, but you don't get what.
He is, well, not exactly his eyes, considering, but his gaze drifts down to where March is still chopping the vegetable. And he's checking to see if March's hands are like shaking or anything.
Let's see. What would I'm gonna roll a deception so to see.
Ha! 19. I mean disadvantage.
Disadvantage. All right.
Wow, the luck guesses are really on March's side. So I guess like his hands don't shake.
And no, his hands are very, very on point, and it looks like he's doing things very purposely, like a lot of purpose. Just like, yep, just cutting fruits or vegetables.
And even though like his hands are shaking, Marcel is going to make the executive decision to, maybe the person who has literally just admitted to being upset by the rapier emotionally shouldn't be chopping something right now, especially if they are going to have this talk.
All right.
So he's going to kind of like tap March's shoulder.
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks for chopping the carrots and the other vegetables. I can take it from here.
Oh, okay. And he puts the knife down and kind of like steps to the side a bit.
Marcel like picks up the knife and starts like chopping the vegetables that he had set aside earlier because they're harder to mince, aka the onions. Um, as he's doing that, he kind of like he doesn't look at March, but he goes, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, Gil upset you like that.
It's not his fault. It's just. Should I even talk about this? What's the harm?
And Mersel like he's still mincing, and the chopping noises are actually kind of relaxing to listen to. Like it's like white noise in the kitchen.
Hmm.
And as he minces, he goes, "Well, I know that he didn't mean to do that, and I apologize on his behalf. But even if he didn't mean to do that, I'll if you want to talk about it, I'll listen. If you want us to just not talk about it, I won't pry."
And he's again in kind of silence. And after that, and like after a few minutes of just the only noise being the like chopping of the vegetables, there's just I've heard people talking about trauma and stuff. How do I say that? Does getting stabbed count?
I'm gonna roll something really quickly. Let's see. All right. The second you say that, his hands actually slip on his knife, and you hear a loud, like Grolix curse as he slices one of his fingers open.
Are you okay? Oh no,
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's fine. It's fine. And I'm gonna roll deception because you bet your ass he's not going to.
Fucking god.
I'm gonna use a luck point.
Vamp!
Holy shit! All right. I guess with a 12, like it hurts. It hurts. He did like slice his finger open on accident, but with a 12, he manages to keep keep it from looking like it's too bad. But you can still tell that it does hurt as he rolls his sleeves up a little and like tugs the glove out of off the injured hand.
Oh dear, I didn't mean to.
No. It's not your fault. Accidents happen all the time, especially in the kitchen. I've been doing this for a while, but I still cut myself from time to time. And he looks at his finger, and I'm gonna just casually roll medicine. 19. Okay, like you said, he has gone through this like multiple times. You can't like cook without like getting cut every now and then, and he just heads to like the 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 first aid kit like on the nearby kitchen wall and opens it and pulls out a roll of like. Keep in mind, the man doesn't know how like you would treat a cut like this, so like assume whatever it is, he needs to treat the cut.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's too logic. You put a bandit on it, it's fine.
Yeah, and he stuck his finger into his mouth and like got a band-aid and then he basically fixed it up.
Alright.
And then after he's done fixing it up, he turns to look at March.
Roll perception with advantage.
Perception?
Yeah, with advantage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this fucking rolls. Oh my god.
God, alright, Katesh is bullying Mersel today.
Alright, so 13. March kind of you see one of March's hand is just like kind of hovering over over his shoulder, like the one, like forgot which one I wrote it as, whatever, one of his shoulders is, and like you don't see anything, but it's just like it's like when people do stuff like on instinct and like yeah.
And Mersel looks at it, and I'm just gonna do something really quick. I'm gonna do something really quick. Come on, dice gods. Like, I wasted one luck point already. Give me something good.
God.
Fucking hell. Alright, he does not puzzle it off. He does, however, say, "You were stabbed?"
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. I remember. I don't know if remember when me and Tobias went shopping. It was after that.
I don't think I've met Tobias yet at that point.
What?
I don't think and he like, he doesn't look like he knows what you're talking about, because I'm pretty sure that happened before him and Tobias actually met.
No, it was after college studies, but whatever.
I mean, correction, it was after they met, but like before they actually got together or got to know each other.
Oh, never mind. It was just a few weeks ago. Me and Tobias went grocery shopping. It was a whole thing. But that's not the point here. After I came back, I came back to my home, and you don't have to roll insight, mostly because God, what the fuck is this insight? But you see that March is kind of having trouble talking about this.
And he immediately goes, you don't have, take it slow. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but if you are, take it slow, breathe, take as long as you need.
Right. So I think it might be might be better to start from the beginning. Like,
Right.
so I had a mentor parent. It doesn't matter. I don't think so. Her name was Laurel, and you can roll either Arcana or History.
I'm gonna roll Arcana, because wait a second, which one's actually better? Oh, they're equally the same. Never mind. But also, Staria, how long ago was like the shopping trip with Tobias? Because I'm pretty sure color studies has happened months ago at this point in
Really? Huh.
Yeah, because it's accurate now. It's been a while. They went through like Halloween and all together.
So not after the shopping trip then. Only like I was thinking of like just having this as be like, yes, this is the time where I thought about this current plot point. And so no, just a few weeks ago.
All right, just a few weeks ago, not during the shopping trip.
No.
What is with these rolls? He hasn't rolled anything higher than a 5 or a 6.
I want this to happen. Come on. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm using my luck point.
Dice, please.
Thank God.
Alright, so you as soon as March says Laurel, you immediately know who he is talking about. Uh Laurel was a very powerful and knowledgeable wizard. A real kind wizard who was in the who was studying things and how they work and what makes them function and be tunes. And while you know that she's dead. And also, and here's the odd thing: if you're wait, does Mersel know approximately how old March is?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Bond literally called him a baby. Like, he's pretty sure March is a teenager.
Alright, so now this is pretty odd. She died 10 years ago.
Ah, and he awkwardly, like, kind of, like, rubs, like, the back of his neck, and he goes, I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, you know about that?
I recognize the name. He tips his hat forward a little, and he goes, when it comes to magic, I do know quite a lot, and she was quite a powerful one. She was quite a powerful one.
Well, I that didn't do much. And well, anyways, I there's someone who, because of her death, someone wants me dead.
Wow, I mean, that's a bombshell of a revelation. You know, when March came into this kitchen the day, like, Mersel expected many things, but he certainly did not expect this. I am once again rolling perception. 19, he keeps his composure.
Oh my
He keeps his
god.
composure very well. Like, if you, like, he keeps it very well. You genuinely can't tell that he's taken aback at all. And he's just, oh, does anyone else know about this?
No, no one knows. I and back then, a few weeks ago, they almost got me. Well, I mean, they stabbed me, and I was really sure they would finish me off, but they let me go. Or I'm not sure what exactly happened, but well, and he pulls off if he pulls his hand from his shoulder, and now that you know that probably that's where the stabbing happens. You kind of see that on there on his suit, shirt, whatever. There is the stitching there is kind of rougher, but it looks as if it was hand stitched, but not by a very skillful person.
Marcel takes note of that because Will takes note of that. And he looks at March and he goes, Did you did you go to the hospital or to anyone at all?
Well, I went to a cleric. I told them not to tell anybody, but no, I don't want people to be hurt because of me, and if if people if people get attached to me, she'll probably find and know that she'll probably try and get them too, and I don't want people to be hurt because of me.
Hey. And he is not going to touch them because that seems like a very incredibly bad decision considering like with how tall he is. If he were to try and touch them or to anchor them, like his hands would land on their shoulders, and that's probably not a good thing. Instead, he's just going to snap his fingers in front of March's face to like kind of like draw his attention.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, here, sit down. And he pulls out one of the kitchen stools.
And he sits down.
And Sal does not sit down, mainly because there aren't that many stools around actually. But he does lean on the kitchen counter next to March, and he goes, "Breathe in, breathe out."
And he does. He breathes in and breathes out.
In, out, in, out. He tells March to like follow his own breaths.
And March does that.
And when he's pretty sure that March is not going to fall into a spiral again, he goes, "Alright, do you think you're still up for talking about it slower this time? Or
yeah. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine."
So, how do I say this? She wants me dead because Laurel is dead. And I'm not entirely sure why. And roll insight.
Alright. Because he's done so well.
Yeah, he's done so fucking well. Oh my god. We'll keep it. So you don't see anything wrong with his statement. Like, obviously there's the fact that someone wants him dead, but like, you don't see anything else. And it's just, I don't know what to do when she inevitably comes back to me. On one hand, I don't know. I know I can't fight back from more reasons than one. But also, I don't want the studio to get hurt if they see that she's trying to kill me and they try to get in between that. She's very strong.
Mersel takes a look at March, and I'm going to roll inside again because now he's going to like take a roll.
God.
For everyone watching, Mersel has legitimately not rolled above a 6 this entire game, except for that one time where we had to like give him advantage and a luck point.
Fuck it, you get advantage. This is bullshit.
I suddenly feel much more sympathetic to Uni.
Oh well, that sure is above a fucking 6. You got what you wish for, but not more.
Oh my god. Well, for everyone watching, that I rolled an 8 plus 2, that's a 10. One of the fingers on the monkey claw curls inwards.
Oh
well, that makes sense though, because he doesn't know March that well. Like, aside from Trouble in the Wings, this is like probably like their very first meeting and conversation together, and he doesn't know He doesn't know them that well. He can see that they're upset, but he can't like pick up any finer details. But he kind of, uh, hmm, March, roll inside.
All right.
30. Again, the same thing applies here. You don't know Mersel that well. Like, there's a shadow beginning to like spread over the upper half of his face, but you can't really like parse out any specific like emotions besides the fact that he seems like very concerned for you and maybe a little understanding. But that's about all you get with a 13.
All right.
And he's like playing with leaves. And he turns to look at you and he goes, Are you? Well, are you scared of her? I mean,
Yeah, I'm scared. I know what's her goal. Her goal is to kill me. And I'm scared of dying. I'm scared, but I'm more scared that you guys will try to protect me. I'm not worth protecting. I'm not.
and he looks at like March and very slowly and very like with purpose and feeling he says, Does someone have to be worth protecting to be protected?
Huh?
Do you think someone do you think people deserve to be protected? Do you think someone has to have do you think someone needs to be worth protecting to be protected?
I guess not.
And he still just looks at you like he well, from what Bob told me at least, the engineer gets near assassinated on the daily.
Yeah.
One time he even walked around the studio with that really, really fancy coat with the Target art board thing on the back. I don't know if you were there for that.
I think I was there. I saw it. It was pretty nice. I got the irony.
Stallion, well, and he looks out and as if like to accentuate his next words, another explosion rings across the studio, and he goes, Everyone here in the studio courts danger on a daily basis. Maybe she is very powerful, but take it from me, power can only get someone so far, especially when they're up against multiple people.
I, you're right. Thank you.
You're welcome. He was honestly not expecting March to like agree so readily. So he's a another insight to make sure that they are
He is believing, but it's also very much you know instantly that he was ready to he was going to just accept his fate and like let this happen and before Marcel kind of like shook him out of it. And you're very, very certain that March had March doesn't want to fight this person.
you and he is playing with his sleeves again, and it's very real inside.
Ooh, Woo!
19. Alright. The shadow over his face has darkened. And again, you catch what you caught earlier. He seemed concerned, he seemed understanding. But with a 19 now, you can definitely see that he seems to know exactly how you're feeling. And he seems the understanding that you saw earlier, it feels like it comes from personal experience.
Oh boy.
And he's just looking at you and he goes, You don't want to fight them, don't you?
No. I
You can
don't. I don't want to fight her. She's all I have from that life. She's. Never mind.
no no. He doesn't know what to say, like their circumstances aren't exactly the same. So he doesn't really know what to say, but he goes, but she's trying to kill you, March. I'm not saying that you should try and kill her in return. Of course not. But if she attacks you again, you need to defend yourself. If nothing else, to stop her from hurting anyone else.
Right. I sure do tonight.
And he isn't done because after that he says nothing else to it for everyone who cares about you here in the studio, even if not for yourself.
Say that again. What?
If nothing else, March should like do it. If they can't do it for themselves, to do it like for everyone who cares for them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
And Sal just sighs, and he kind of like one hand goes under his hat to like run through his hair. And kind of goes, I get it. You they're all you have from whatever your life was before the studio, and it's hard because you still see them as they were back then, and maybe you're the only one who knows them, who knows what they used to be like. But people do change, sometimes for the worse. And I'm not saying that you should kill them or anything, but you need to defend yourself.
I guess.
You can't let someone just hurt you like that.
And March stays silent.
Personally, I think you should tell engineer and you should tell the engineer.
Roll insight. Because that went so well. No, you get nothing.
A 4. Really? And I'm all out of luck points too.
Well, you don't get anything from that. Yeah, March looks like he's considering it. And just like, yeah, that's all you get.
And like Mersel is genuinely like conflicted because like on one hand he is not the kind of person to tell someone else's secrets, and he's not sure if he's in the position to do that, considering that like it feels really hypocritical as to tell the engineer when he has a lot of secrets he keeps close to his own chest. At the same time, March is 15 and he's not, and he still remembers being 17 and making terrible decisions. And So he's looking at March and like again, and he sees a child. Like this is a baby. This is a teenager.
This
They're
is absolutely a child.
yeah. If it was anyone else, he'd probably keep the secret. But he can't like in good conscience like do it when it's a 15-year-old preteen trying to that's like in danger of being murdered. Like March is younger than he was when he left. So he's just I really think you should tell the engineer and to be to be honest, if you don't I might.
Oh, okay. I'll do it then.
And he nods. And he's going to make another insight roll to make sure that March will actually do what he says he will. 11, please give me something with that, Saria.
Yeah, he's gonna do it. He's gonna tell the engineer.
That's good. And he looks at March and March probably looks exhausted, huh?
Kinda.
Right. He takes off his hat and he reaches into his hammer space and he takes out a cookie tray.
And March kind of like looks at him, and you can see he's like puzzled, but like the like pleasantly puzzled. Like, oh, what's this? He's curious. That's the word I was searching for.
And Mersel like grins a little and winks, or well, the equivalent of winking when both your eyes are closed. And the hand that's not holding the cookie tray goes up to like put his hat back on his head, and then kind of like goes to his mouth like in a shushing motion, and he goes, "Don't tell the others about this, but you deserve like a treat." And he hands the tray over to March, and it's a tray of. Let me see if I have pictures for this. It's a tray of cherry blossom cookies.
Yes. Oh my god, they're so adorable.
Yeah, and they taste really good. Like, I don't know if you've been to Japan before, but sakura cookies / cherry blossom cookies, they're very good. I love them.
So March kind of puts one in his, kind of plops one in his mouth, and his head immediately starts glowing, and he's just like, "Ah, that's so good."
Thank you. It's in a rather well. I had to have the petals imported from Ghibli, but I really hope that it paid off. Sometimes I if well, and he looks a little flustered as he looks to the left and starts tugging on his turtleneck a little, and he goes, "Well, I was hoping that I could make them for my partners."
Should make more of them. They're very good.
And he gives kind of a shrug, and he goes, I'm afraid the sakura flowers, the petals that are used to make these, they're out of season right now."
Ah, alright. I see.
And these are my. And he like motions to the rest of the tray and goes, "You can eat them. I can always make more in the future."
Well,
And
not if they're out of season.
And he insistently pushes the tray towards March, and I'm just gonna casually roll a persuasion.
Oh my god, that's not So March, he really does look like he wants more cookies. So it's very easy to convince him. He's just like he's gonna like pick more, and like pops another in his mouth. He's not gonna take the whole tray. Cause come on, it's still not his cookies. He's not gonna take everything. But he he as he eats another one, you can definitely see that his head kind of glows more. And you can roll Arcana if you want.
Alright, sure, let's do this thing. 14, alright, that's at least not bad.
Yeah, that's at least it's not the insight.
Can I argue for advantage considering like his entire thing is magic?
Sure.
18! Alright, there we go.
Alright, this is great because that means I can officially announce March's class. He's a wild soul barbarian, and he has, and you can, you see, the glow. It's traces of like magic, but it's like the unstable kind of magic that is usually like for wild, but it's usually associated with wild magic, and it just like and like you've seen the when you were sparring and March briefly went into a rage sort of, and the glow like really went up and like became even more like blinding, and you see it's wild magic. March has wild magic.
And Mersel has probably like returned to like chopping the vegetables at this point. But when he sees March's head glow, you instantly see him light up a little. Not literally, but like you do see him light up, and he goes, "Oh, you're a wild magic barbarian."
A what?
Oh, and he just basically says what you just told me, except like more technical.
Uh, can't believe Mersel is the DMV, the Dungeon Master Guide.
Listen, this is like his entire thing. He may have gotten like nerfed talent wise, but it's not like he forgot like all the theory.
Mersel's 5e tools confirmed.
I mean, like, to be fair, like he probably doesn't give us an in-depth explanation. Like it's basically just like, oh, you probably like have wild magic.
Neat. So March is very like, huh. So that's why. Oh, And you can roll insight again if you'd like.
18, hell yeah!
And you can very much tell March doesn't like his magic. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like his magic. He's not like upset at you, but it's like the way he's like kind of like nodding. He's like, oh, that's interesting. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that I have unstable magic. I don't like the fact I have magic at all.
Like you just kind of see like Marcel deflate at that because he loves magic. He loves it so much, and like knowing that March like hates his own brand of magic, kind of like feels bad. He feels bad. He feels kind of bad for bringing it up. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Don't worry about it. It's nothing much.
And he doesn't really look like he believes March, but he does let it go. And as he's chopping and as March is like munching on the sakura flower cookies and as like explosion sound in the distance, like silence falls over the kitchen again, I assume.
Yeah, it's a comfortable silence.
Yeah, it's a comfortable silence. And actually, can before we end this FPS, can I say something?
Sure.
Cut to a few days after this FPS, and like it probably happened like if it happened a little after the sparring session on the roof with Charlie, like it probably happened like sometime either before Animus or a bit after, because well, Saul gave Charlie like his Animus present during the sparring session. But either way, in March, I don't know if March has like a room in the studio.
He probably does, I think. Like, he's an actor, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's fair. All right, March, you enter your dressing room in the studio and roll perception.
Alright.
15. All right, you definitely see it. It's not like it's being hidden or anything. It's in plain sight. There's a gift box sitting like on your vanity.
March is very curious, and he's gonna go pick it up and open it.
And inside is like, and as you like tear open the wrapping paper, I assume, and open
Yeah.
inside is this. Let me just look for the picture. Let me look for the picture. Come on, where was it? There it is. I found it. Hell yeah. You uncovered this.
Yes.
It's a stained glass butterfly. And when as you like look it over, you notice that like there's a little switch or something at the bottom that when you toggle the butterfly's wings light up.
That's so fucking cool. And March kind of like he really smiled at that because that's very thoughtful, and he he's gonna put it in. He's gonna put it on the what's it called, like the table where there's like the mirror and stuff.
Vanity?
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's gonna stare at it because oh my god, that's so pretty, and also someone is thought about him and like bought him a gift.
I will say that it's probably not as large as the one that I sent in, like the picture was. Like it's probably a lot smaller, so like it's not like a huge ass stained glass butterfly. But it is still really pretty.
Yes, really, really pretty. I love it.
And roll another perception with advantage.
Good thing I have advantage.
15. All right. Well, you know to look for it when you usually when someone gets a gift, usually there's a note or a card to go along with it. And there is like a simple note, and there's golden cursive handwriting written on it, and all it says is "Happy Animus March. I hope you had a good year, and I hope you have a wonderful year next year as well." Well, he doesn't say that. That's me. I don't like. I keep stuttering or repeating words when I'm nervous. But he basically like says, "Merry Animus. I hope you had a good year and like I hope you will have a great year next. Like I hope you will have a great year moving forward." And it's signed Mersel.
March definitely puts it in his pocket and kind of like clicks the switch on the butterfly to make it light up. And he kind of like he just kind of like looks at it, and as the screen fades out, as the screen kind of zooms out, it zooms out and see the studio, and it fades to black.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap, baby.
Yep.